then I'm like, damn, I fall on my face and this and that. But then you just come back. Like, you can't stop winners from winning. Period. If it's in your DNA, it's just in your DNA. It ain't nothing nobody else can do. What this person got ain't gonna stop you from getting, like, what's for you is for you. What's for them is for them. So it's nothing that anybody can do to stop you from being a winner if you're a winner. You just win.
Cool. Well, yeah, podcast 10. Today is November 6th. New month.
New month, new goals, new aspirations.
Yeah. So let's,
You don't got your computer?
No.
You don't need it?
No.
You mobile today?
Yeah, we just had one question, so I know the question.
Oh, okay.
But let's start with talking about what we did yesterday. We did something different.
Oh, with the questions?
Yeah, so Sherrod found an old mic. Because you used to, was that the mic
That's
from
the
Questions?
same exact mic from Questions.
Because, it's funny, last night I watched like 3 seasons of Questions, or not 3 episodes of Questions, and I was like, same chord, same mic. I was like, it's the same mic.
Same chord, same mic, same mic flag.
Give our viewers a little background on what Questions with World Star Hip Hop was, and what inspired you to bring that back through God is Dope, kind of, with a factory version of Questions.
Okay.
How many stars is on the American flag?
Shit, we got 13 colonies, so 13 minus 50. 13 minus 50, goddamn, 47. 47.
So Questions is a show that I created. I came up with the concept, and I told one of my friends from high school that just got out of the Navy, and he was like, man, I want to be a comedian. And this is back when the skits was going crazy and everybody was doing stuff online. And I'm like, man, I think I got an idea for you. So we went. I told him to go and get like an outfit, to wear to like Clark Atlanta, because that was the first school I wanted to try out. And he went and got it, and we shot the very next day. We just asked people questions, and like just random questions that you should know. But when it's a camera and a mic in front of your face, you tend to like slip up. It's not as easy as it looks, especially with 5 seconds to answer every question.
And I think that's part of the show, is because people think that it's as easy as it looks when you're watching it, that it's like, duh.
Right.
But in that show, there were some things that were like a little ridiculous. Like, it was like, really? Okay, that's a little concerning that you don't know the answer to that.
Right.
But that show, I mean, it was getting like 6 to 8 million views overall on YouTube for World Star.
Yeah, every episode. I mean, even still to this day, people talk about it on Twitter. People do reaction videos. It's a thing.
I mean, I think it's kind of set up a style of like street interview that now, like with the memes involved, and like, I mean, some of the biggest, like, I remember when that was around, when like Vine was around, right?
Yeah.
So I remember some of like the biggest Vines were cuts of questions where it was how many states are in the U.S. It was like 13 colonies, whatever.
Yeah.
It was
goddamn 47.
47. Yeah. So that was a big one. But yeah, so that inspired us to do a factory version
of Questions. Just,
style.
I mean,
it's funny.
Not to toot my own horn, but we did that.
Today, we asked our staff how many of each animal did Moses take on the ark with him. You won't believe their responses.
How many of each? All right,
Dang.
Sorry. I'm not going to answer.
1.
He took
4.
2.
2 of each.
No. He took 2 of each animal. What? Wait, is that it?
Moses ain't take no animals on the ark.
Who did?
That
Did I get one wrong? You got one wrong. Which one?
And then for those that have kept up with Sherrod's story and the God is Dope legacy, that was actually the show that gave you that seed money, right? Because I know in all the brunches and everything you talk about.
Yeah, season 2 from Questions is what gave me the money to fund God is Dope.
Yeah, so I like the idea of that, like being the seed money that came from that, and then like we're doing a little bit paying its respects, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we paying respect, and I mean, it's something that I do want to kick back off. I'm not gonna lie.
Through God Is Dope, how we just did it, or just on its own
through
thing?
God Is Dope.
Yeah, well,
Like,
I think
on our
it's a
YouTube.
great idea. I think it's hilarious.
The reaction was nice online. Like,
I
in
think
the
it's
comments.
so funny.
Oh, did you crack up watching it?
Yeah.
How many times did you watch it?
Oh, so much. But I think it's just so funny, like watching it happen. Like, it was the funniest when I was in the room and just like, because what we did was we were in the factory and we just took people in one by one. It was kind of like, you come here. And then once they were in the room, they couldn't come out. So it was like one by one, they were going in the room, and I was just dying laughing the whole time.
And it's the simplest questions, and it's just like,
I did it to my mom today at lunch. We went. I went up to Gwinnett today and voted, and then I stopped for lunch by her house.
Yeah.
And then she had seen it. She thought it was hilarious.
She did.
And so I did the question thing because I explained to her. I was like, "It's easy questions, but you're gonna mess it up." And I was asking her, like looking in her eyes, like, how, like all the really simple. And she was like, I was like, now imagine that with a camera and a microphone.
Yeah.
And then even the factor of being in the public on the street is another thing because we did it in like a closed environment.
Yeah, you toast
with distractions.
So right now I'm looking for hosts. I got a few people reaching out via DM and emails and stuff saying that they can do it, but I don't know, man. My man Dan,
he's the OG.
He's just so perfect for it, like his personality.
Where's he at? Where's Dan now?
He's in Germany or something like that. Like he went back to the
Navy.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Huh.
I think I would love to have him do it. So if he's ever in town,
yeah, hopefully.
I think I couldn't do it. I would just laugh. I don't know. I'm not serious enough.
He was
to
so
do
good at it because like the whole thing with questions, it's like
when
he would
they answer
encourage
wrong,
him. He would encourage him like, man, you on fire.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
You got it. Like, yes.
Right, and people would celebrate and just build confidence. So
that's the funniest thing to me is once, and I mean, someone did it with Matt when it was like,
oh yeah, like what did I say? Misleading applause.
Yeah, it was the clapping, and then he was like, yeah, I did that.
right. Yeah, it's a good concept, and I mean, I think if we do it right, it's something that can go viral. I may put it on the Shade Room and just.
I think
I may format it different on the Shade Room, where it's like I think if I would have formatted it like the Drake and Boosie thing, it would have got more views because the intro,
like the meme format kind of.
Yeah, the intro with you, people could watch that for 5 seconds and then flip it.
Yeah.
If it's not funny right away.
No, yeah, definitely. It has to be funny right away.
So yeah, I'm gonna reformat it for maybe Shade Room just for content purposes, not necessarily for sales, just to get people to say, oh.
I mean, it's totally branded. Like the mic says "God Is Dope." There's "God Is Dope" pillows in the back. All of like for the most part, Matt in that clip at least, Matt had the Prayed for This hoodie on. Zay had a Just Got. Everyone was branded basically.
Yeah.
So I like that.
It's a cool concept. The couch look good. The room look good. It's like. I got inspired yesterday. The edits, how like what's the difference in like watching it firsthand, then see it edited in a way?
The the like memes flashing and like the lights and the ding, all that.
Yeah. So
I thought I had a good reaction. People seem to think it was hilarious. I only saw like a couple negative comments, but I've just gotten used to those.
Right.
Speaking of our social media and all, we wanted to talk about our Instagram story.
Just talking about the difference in the amount of views we get.
Yeah, because you had mentioned that before, around like the building of the Airbnb, we had way less followers than we do now, but our participation in our stories and our viewership was much, much higher.
Right.
And I think we decided that was due to the Airbnb being really interesting, and then like you creating this narrative with Unc.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
And it was a story within the story.
Right. So yeah, with the stories, I was using them, but I wasn't really using them consistently until we started the Airbnb, and I think we was averaging between 18,000 views to 26, sometimes 30,000.
Yeah, I know
views.
they were in the 20s because one time we looked at them.
Yeah, it was like 18,000 to 30,000. They were just range while I was making the Airbnb. And recently I looked at the stories, and we got like twice the amount of followers that we had when we first started the Airbnb. And we're averaging around 8 to 10. So this is something that I'm trying to figure out right now, and I'm trying to, because it was a time before where we could just put up a picture, not on the main page and on the story, and it would just go crazy, just off it being on the story, off the swipe up. And I don't know what it is that's got people. I don't know. I might need to Google it. Like,
do you think it's some sort of?
It could be an algorithm thing.
Yeah, some sort of thing.
It could be
that we don't know about.
Because I can't see our stories going from, 30,000 with 120,000 followers to having 260,000 followers, and we at like 12,000. So this is something that I'm just bringing to my, it just caught my attention, and I'm trying to bring it, to the forefront and let y'all know that this is something we're working on, and I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of it and just let y'all know what I learned along the way.
And so to test this out, you've now been messing with.
Yeah, what did he come today?
Yes, Max. So I have a marketing intern / assistant. I'm trying to build a little team of people to help me with the stuff that I don't want to do or I don't have time to do.
That he forgets
to
do.
I forget stuff. So I hired a guy named Max. And so he goes to Georgia State, and he has class at 3, so he comes at like 11 to 2. Just a couple hours, just see what he can help. Today he built these awesome vacuums for us.
Okay.
Helped me out a little. That's something I didn't want to do. Yep. So he did that today. But Sherrod took it upon himself to mess with him a little bit.
I mean, he messed with me first.
Yeah.
He came in. His foot, okay. In the picture I put on Instagram, I put up like a little.
Oh, is that story still up? Can we find that story? You can in the archive. All right, let's show that. Let's show that story of Max here.
Max is I took a picture of him just randomly because he asked me. He said, "Man, what do you do here at God is Dope?" And I was about to mess with him a little bit, like, I just started yesterday, and just try to see, like, pick his brain as far as like what he thought of what was going on so far.
I think you should have done that.
And I was just gonna be like, man, it sucks in here, man. You like, it's whack. Like, look at this, But I didn't do that. I just said, you know what, man, I'm the owner. He was like, oh. Then he shook my hand again. Like, I guess I'm more formal.
He must have not
handshake.
heard, because I think when he walked in and you were there, I was like, this Sherrodi's the owner. I like said it.
You did?
Yeah, I must have said it quietly, I guess. But
yeah, so I just put up something I thought was funny, and it was just like, just like how it happened. And I added his foot being on the couch.
Just for comedy.
Yeah, just for theatrical purposes. And, people loved it. And it was like, oh, yeah, he got to do his research. Let me know if he treats you different later and this and that. So it's something I might continue.
And I think that's something along the lines of like the Unc thing.
Yeah, well, Unc is like, only the podcast listeners will know this, but everybody thought the Unc that was building the house was my actual uncle. And he's not. It's just something that and first of all, in the black community, we call people older than us Unc. It's just what we do. We call people that's like close to age than us, that's cuz. And so yeah, he's Unc. And then people took that upon themselves to start saying, oh, that's your uncle, you can't hire a family to do this and that. So I just kept it going. And
like, you're putting all this trust in him because he's your uncle.
Right. Yeah, I was just building this narrative where it was like, he had a girlfriend.
Drunk Unc.
He had a drinking problem, which he did. And, just building this whole narrative around Unc that was, kind of funny and appealing to people. And the story views would just go crazy. So it just showed me, like, what funny stuff can do, or like a narrative, or like some type of thing that I think the whole thing was the completion of the deck. So I think people was going to watch until Unc either messed up the deck or finished the deck.
Yeah.
And then now it's like, now we got to find something else to get people attached, where it's like, okay, it has to have a start and an end to it. Because if it just keeps going on and on and on and on, then it's like, oh, okay, I'll watch it whenever. But if it has a start and an end, it's like people going to stay in tune and be engaged.
Mm-hmm.
So I just got to figure that out. And in between those clips, drop shirts and sales and stuff like that, just because the engagement is up.
And I see certain brands that I follow, like, because I like their clothes and stuff, and I know a couple guys in here do too, that they do something similar, but they do it through like memes. Yeah. And like just content that's like not theirs, but has nothing to do with them, like, at all.
Yeah.
Like, It's just, this is funny. Like, this is hilarious. And so
Right.
they post it. So it'll be like, meme, product, shop here, buy this shirt.
Yeah.
Meme. Like, you know, and it's
Yeah.
just like, it's like they're
Yeah.
already getting these views because, and I know people, like, personally, I know people that follow that page thinking it's a meme page. Like, thinking it's like, this is what
a
this
Daquan
is.
page?
Exactly, yeah. Thinking like that's what I'm following this page for, and then end up like my roommate Brittany. She followed it thinking it's like funny,
Right.
Because someone, you know, you can send stories now. Like if I see a funny story, I can send it to your DM.
Right.
Ha, you'll have a laugh. So
Right.
someone must have sent it to her.
Uh-huh.
She thought it was funny. Followed the page, and then like 2 weeks later, a bag comes to her house and it's like, look at my new shirt from so and so, and I'm like, what? How'd you find out about them? Like that's crazy. She's like,
Right.
oh, I follow them on Instagram.
Oh,
And
because
it's
of
just
the
like,
memes.
yeah, because
Yeah.
of their content. So
That's crazy.
I thought that was interesting, and especially that also falls into our questions thing. Like that's just funny. That's just content.
Yeah, it's just content.
Like, you
And
don't
then-
have to really know what God is Dope is or like have ever heard about it to think that's funny.
Right.
If
yeah.
you get the joke, if you're in on the joke.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is so successful about questions and all those kinds of stories is because you're in on the joke and then you get to laugh, ha ha, ha ha,
Right.
look at that idiot.
Right. That's what makes it good.
But everyone would fall for
And
it,
then
or
when
most
you-
people would fall.
And then when you add from questions, it was like a lot of pretty girls in there that was just looking bad. So, yeah, that was the thing. And yeah, so now we just trying to focus on not 100%, but like creating a lot of content, and people noticing, man. Like I'm getting a lot of phone calls. Shout out to people that reach out. You know.
Talking about our content.
Jeffrey Lee, a couple guys from the Atlanta streetwear market pulled up, you know, while I was just outside randomly at the gas station. They saw the truck through the window and just came out and was just like, man.
You just happened to be in front of where that was going on?
Yeah, and I was in the gas station, and a young guy that I met at the first talk I did at WeWork.
Power Talk.
Yeah, the Power Talk I did at WeWork. He came in and, you know, told me that he was in there doing, you know, selling merch, and you know, he watched the podcast and he's sending us some stuff. But yeah, it's kind of interesting seeing people recognize me for God is Dope. Yeah, it's crazy. Shout out to G. Well, not G, what's his Jeffrey Lee. I call him G.
Does Jeffrey Lee watch the podcast?
Yeah, Jeffrey Lee watched the podcast.
Oh, I've never seen him comment.
Yeah, he got a comment.
What's up, Jeff?
Never too fly to pray.
We were talking about some shoes the other day.
I told him I was gonna get him on here one day.
Oh,
He
that'd
said
be
he was coming
interesting.
tomorrow.
Okay.
So yeah.
Jeffrey Lee tomorrow.
Shout out to Kat. You know, everybody that reach out.
You had an interesting post last week.
I had an interesting post.
You had an interesting post that I usually am not a fan of random irrelevant posts.
Oh,
Irrelevant as in not dealing with God is Dope.
right.
But in that moment, I was out. And when I saw it, I laughed. And I thought it was hilarious. And so I didn't even complain or anything because I knew how much it meant to you.
Yeah, man.
So you
meant the
posted
world.
about Derrick Rose.
Yeah, I posted. I never do that.
Never.
I-
And well, you never really post about any celebrity interaction, really. And then also, you said something very interesting in the caption that a lot of people sent it to me and was like, what? And I was like, I don't watch basketball, don't really care about basketball. And B, Shiraz's from Chicago, so anything he says, I'll probably side with him because you're not from Chicago and he's from Chicago.
Right.
So tell us about that.
If we can pull it up, you can pull it. Read the caption. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I think I kind of.
You said
I kind of did it on the Bulls. I mean, and listen. Let me tell you how much of a Bulls fan I am. I wish we can play the clip. I wish I had the clip of like when I was like 3 or 4 years old, dancing in my Michael Jordan jersey. That like I thought my name was Michael Jordan. Like I would tell people my name was Michael Jeffrey Jordan at 4 years old. That's how much of a Bulls fan, how much of a Jordan fan I was. All that. So that's just setting the tone for this right here. That just shows you how important this is in my opinion, to the city.
And then something else that Sherrod has never ever done in like the 2 years I've been able to see stuff happen here.
Go back and forth with it.
Was Sherrod has never replied to a customer or argued or like anything. And I saw God is dope at someone else a little with the attitude. I was like, well, let's go.
Yeah,
but Sherrod said, this was the picture. 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Sherrod said, D Rose dropped 50 tonight, career high. This moment alone is bigger than any championship the Chicago Bulls ever won. Rose emoji. Hashtag MVP. Hashtag you can't stop winners from winning. Hashtag real tears.
Yeah, I shed a few tears that night.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you what it represents, man. If anybody ever seen the movie Rudy, you ever seen the movie Rudy?
No, I've not.
I think you should do some research on the movie Rudy tonight.
Okay.
And come back to the next podcast and give me and let me know what you think of the movie. It's about a kid that was maybe 5'2", but his heart was like 6'9", and he made up his mind that he was gonna make the team as a walk-on. And I think he went out for 3 years straight and didn't make the team. And I think he thought about giving up and stuff like that. You're probably not familiar with the movie, with the sitcom Rock. I forget the main actor in that sitcom name, but he's a black guy. He was like the janitor.
Mm-hmm.
And he was rooting for Rudy, you know. And Rudy was I might play the scene right here.
Hey. What you doing here? Don't you have practice?
Not anymore, I quit.
Oh. Well, since when are you the quitting kind?
I don't know, I just don't see the point anymore.
So you didn't make the dress list. There are greater tragedies in the world.
I wanted to run out of that tunnel for my dad. To prove to everyone that I worked...
what?
That I was somebody.
Oh, you are so full of crap. You're 5 feet nothing, 100 and nothing, and you got hardly a speck of athletic ability. And you hung in with the best college football team in the land for 2 years. And you're also gonna walk out of here with a degree from the University of Notre Dame. In this lifetime, you don't have to prove nothing to nobody except yourself. And after what you've gone through, if you haven't done that by now, it ain't gonna never happen. I rode the bench for 2 years. Thought I wasn't being played because of my color. I got filled up with a lot of attitude. So I quit. Still not a week goes by, I don't regret it. And I guarantee a week won't go by in your life you won't regret walking out, letting them get the best of you.
Hopefully we don't get flagged for it. But it was a scene that was real touching where he talked to him and he was just like talking about not giving up. And he went out for the team the last time and he made it. And this just the whole moment itself was like crazy because he actually got, like, he didn't play at all. He just made the thing of him making the team was everything. And then for the last game, I think they let him go out on the field and the crowd just went crazy. And he's a legend at Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. But yeah, to know that everything Derrick Rose went through as far as like
injuries,
multiple career-ending injuries. You know what I'm saying? It's like he could have given up like multiple times, and for him to come back and play on that level, on that stage, and it's just so much other stuff like surrounding that. The fact that Jimmy Butler didn't want to play because he's just being, he's just in his feelings about not getting paid the max, the max deal, and knowing the history of him and Jimmy Butler in Chicago, where when D Rose got hurt, Jimmy Butler stepped up and became the franchise player, because people kind of shitting on Derrick Rose and was like uplifting Jimmy Butler, and then both of them go to Minnesota, and the night Jimmy Butler decides not to play, Derrick Rose starts and drops 50. Are you kidding me? You know what I'm saying? After everybody had written him off when he went to the Cavaliers, after he went to the Knicks, everybody was just like, everybody got a D Rose joke.
And Derrick Rose is actually like from Chicago.
Yeah, he's from the city.
So I think that's important.
Out of nothing else that symbolized, it symbolized like you have to keep going. You know? Like, don't let a defining moment define you. You have to define that moment. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
Yeah. Don't you can't let that moment define you. You have to define that moment. And like, yeah, that was just crazy. I didn't see the actual game. I just seen the highlights. And you can tell by how emotional he was. It was just like how emotional everybody was.
Yeah.
Cuz everybody root for D Rose. It's like
all around
that
good guy.
MVP year, 2011 when he won the MVP. Everybody just knew he was going to be bigger than any. Like, he was better than LeBron. He was the best player in the NBA. And like, to me, he could have retired after that game. I know he wanted to win Sixth Man of the Year and this and that, but like, just that right there alone, for him to have the best game of his career after all of that stuff, even after his MVP year, he didn't even play like that. And then like, it's just everything is just crazy because it wasn't like it was a meaningless game. It wasn't like they was down by a lot or they was up by a lot. They was going back and forth. He was balling to win the game. They could have tied the game or lost the game on a 3-point shot in the last second. But he was fighting all the way down to the end. And I mean, I don't know. That's just, it just symbolized so much for the city as far as like look at this story. Like the ESPN 30 for 30 on Derrick Rose is going to be a movie. A movie. So, yeah, that's like, I am Derrick Rose. Period. That's why it resonated so much with me because, it's been times after times of people counting me out and I come up with this idea and it didn't work and then I'm like, dang, I fall on my face and this and that. But then you just come back. Like, you can't stop winners from winning. Period. If it's in your DNA, it's just in your DNA. It ain't nothing nobody else can do. What this person got ain't gonna stop you from getting, like, what's for you is for you. What's for them is for them. So it's nothing that anybody can do to stop you from being a winner if you're a winner. You just win. So, shout out to Derrick Rose, man.
Let's get Derrick Rose on the podcast.
And shout out to PJ Rose, his son, Pooh Jr.
Oh, yeah. How did that whole hoodie for his son come about?
His
because that's a pretty old picture, right?
Yeah, the mother of his child. Like when we was first starting out, I was just reaching out to people with like a bunch of followers and had influence, and I sent her some stuff for Derrick, for her, and for the baby. And like she would, whenever he would, like she loved it, and whenever he would wear it, she would send pictures. And like that time, he was just on the floor with Derrick, and it was just like, I was like, wow. Like imagine me with 3,000, 3,500 followers getting a picture of Derrick Rose's son on the court with Derrick Rose.
With your logo.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
right there.
Right there. That's
perfect.
Crazy. Yeah. So yeah, like
that's
shout
a pretty
out to,
dope picture.
Matter of fact, I gotta send them some stuff.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Nah, I do. It's not like I'm.
Oh, like
I'm
you
behind.
owe them?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Let's definitely do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Do you want to do this average cost per shirt thing right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's up, gang?
We need Few for this. Is Few here? Few.
Yeah, let's figure this out.
Okay. You have your booklet with your numbers?
No, I don't.
Oh, where's that booklet?
I think it's at home. I was looking for it here. But I'll print out spreadsheet. I mean, I have this.
Do you have today's numbers at least?
Today? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
average cost per shirt. So yeah, what we trying to do now is I'm trying to figure out.
Well, in this case, hoodie. They printed only hoodies. Today.
Hoodies or shirts, if it's worth it for me to be printed in house, and if it's not worth it, how do we make it worth it? Cause it's a lot of
We're doing hoodies. We go by boxes instead of just count them out easily, or count them out individually. So these are all the boxes that we did today.
How many of that? How many is it?
Each hoodie, each box has 24 hoodies.
So how many boxes is that?
This will be
24 times
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 boxes. Well, and then if you want to do, because they're all double hits, and no, we didn't even count these either.
These today?
These are today.
Yeah, they did a ton of those today.
Man.
So 240, 240.
Unless did you do? 2.
Okay, but those are one hits,
That
right?
one hits. All these would be 2.
Okay, so
it would
times
be
2
240 times 2
plus.
No. Just do 240.
Okay.
I mean, what? Wait.
Or just we did
240 plus.
240 plus.
How many?
48.
Okay.
288.
228.
And that's between all three.
Well, what down a press? So we can only use the double.
Because the flash is out until tomorrow.
So who was? So who was it? So who was on this press?
Me, Jared, and Matt. We just rotated. So Matt would help out here. Me and Jared would hit, or they would hit. I would help. I was learning something from Zay for a second.
Okay, so 8 hours with that. Do 30 an hour times 8. 30 times 8. 288.
Okay. So now what?
So that's 240 I paid today. How many divided by how many hoodies did we make?
288. 83 cents.
83 cents a hoodie. All right. It's not a bad number.
Well, the number scale does a lot when you take into account of double hits, right? So 88, 83 for like a one hit is like okay, I think still, right? For a double hit, that's pretty good. And then when you get to like these like the black weapon ones that were technically like what, 4 hits? Because you were doing double.
The white ones were 2.
Was y'all did any of those today?
4.
Y'all didn't do any.
No, but I'm just saying in general, like in the scale of we do 1 hits to the most. I mean, the most we've probably ever done is that hoodie, which is 4 hits, right?
So 83 cents, not including the ink cost.
Not including ink cost. And so with white ink, we get it. How much is the big?
Do the same math with $25. Well, we have a help, like somebody like an assistant and a production manager.
$25 times 40 hours times 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Divided by 288. 69 cents.
Okay. So that's the difference, 69 and 80 something.
And that number would be higher, or not the cost, but the production number would be higher with the second flash, because we've been down a flash for a week.
Well, it would probably be the same because I'm only counting 2 people.
Okay, yeah, because then it would be 4 people. Well, technically it'd be 3 people, because even when we have both presses operating, we haven't had
4 people.
Unless the third person will borrow Woo or Vito on occasion.
Yeah.
Because usually what I've noticed is usually it's one press is doing the 2 hits, the other press does the 1 hits. Because the 1 hits, one person can handle it pretty
okay.
straight.
When we get the other flash tomorrow, we can do 2 hits on both.
And then part of the seasonal hiring thing that we'll look for, and on Monday when we had our meeting, I said, to everyone, if they know anyone that, needs some seasonal help.
Yeah.
That I think one person I would want a seasonal person on the press, so that way we have both presses with 2 people. Because right now it's 2 presses, 3 people.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Oh, so that's what all that noise was. The fan.
The fan.
You notice it just got a lot quieter in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta turn the fan off.
Okay, fans off and the music. I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I guess I just thought it was just noise.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. Bye, Zay. Have a good day.
Zay. I didn't know Zay watched the podcast. I saw her over there like during lunch watching the podcast. She saw herself too.
We can't talk about Zay no more.
We can't?
I'm just kidding. I don't think we ever talked bad about Zay ever.
All right. See you.
That was all my topics. Did you have anything else you wanted to bring up?
No, not really.
I had one question, comment on the last video. It was basically, I don't know the word for word, but basically what they were asking was your day-to-day. What does Sherrod Simpson do when he comes to the factory office? And I know your day-to-day is never really the same, but if you were to sum it up, what does...
It just depends on what's going on. It's really no...
Because I don't think there's,
thing.
even for me, there's ever
Yeah.
What do you do?
Well, I mean, let's say when I first come in here, I greet everybody. Hey,
you do greet everyone?
You know, just to, if anybody got anything they want to say to me, they can say it while I'm over there talking to them or shaking their hand or giving them a hug or whatever. I go in the office, the new office now.
Check in,
see what's up with everybody.
Me and Seth are doing.
And from there, it's like, okay,
what are we doing?
What's going on?
Yeah.
Like if it's a podcast day, you know, we'll do the podcast. We'll talk about topics. If it's like we were focusing on sales, if it's like we trying to make money, if we like got too many orders coming in and we can't fulfill them, it's just all type of hectic stuff going on.
Yeah, usually it's like, I think it's Sherrod comes in, you always greet everyone, and that's something I value. Where you come in and you don't just hello. It's just like, what's up, Jay? What's up, so and so? What's up, Zay? What's up, Diamond? What's up? Like you stop everyone, you give them a chance to.
Right.
Hey, man. Like
yeah, I don't know where that came from. I think that came from my family. Like in my family, if you didn't like hug everybody in the room, you got to.
I feel that 1,000,000%.
You feel that?
Family parties, like my family is huge on like family parties. Like every Sunday, family get together, barbecues. My dad loves to grill steaks. Yeah. And it's just like from family, like growing up in Venezuela and like being over there. Yeah. And then even like in our neighborhood, like whenever just you say hey to every single person.
And if you don't say hey to somebody, it becomes a thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
well, now
like it might be like 2 weeks later, like, yeah, your grandma said you didn't say hey to her.
And like then when you leave, and I never really cared about saying hey when I came in, but it would be annoying as a kid when I was like, I'm tired. I already played all day. Like, it's like, I want to go home. And it's like, no, you can't leave.
You got to say bye to everybody.
You shake everyone's hand and give every aunt a kiss on the cheek.
Right.
It's every single time. And even to this day.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And like my mom will, like I'm grown and it's like, shit, I'll do it because at this point I know. Like I just do it. Yeah. It's like engraved, but she'll still, you say hey to them? Like,
right.
Did you?
Yeah.
And that's like a thing.
Yeah, it's a big thing. So I mean,
but that's important.
Even like, cause I can like we hug, you know, and like my aunties and my auntie's friends and whoever. So like, females I hug and you know, guys I dap up. So that's just a thing. Mm-hmm. That's always been a thing. So yeah, but yeah, it's no set thing. Like a year ago today, like my days was really crazy where I was in the truck and then I would have to come in and you know deal with a bunch of stuff and picking up stuff. Like we didn't have the like UPS coming to pick up, USPS coming to pick up stuff. We didn't have Broder dropping stuff off. We didn't have Uline dropping stuff off. You know?
Everything. Yeah, that's become something that we've like started to almost be dependent on. Is that we're kind of spoiled by it, I think. But
let's talk about the store this weekend too. So for the first time in the store, and I think quite some time, we hit the $2,000 mark in one day.
Mm-hmm. And that was which day? Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday. And I came in the store like literally to like drop something off and to put the poll up for the shirts. I think around 1:15.
And was Erica in there?
And Erica was in there, and I ended up staying till like 8 because it was just nonstop traffic. And it was buying stuff, and you know, like it was a good feeling. I was like, okay.
And this was, do you think, due to
first off the merch being there, and then you know, like people standing there longer because there's more variety. Because if it was just how it used to be with just this one rack over here and then this bin in the middle, it would have been like a 5-minute in and out. But due to the fact that there was so much stuff in there, people was in there, and then another person to come, and then another person to come, and then it was just a lot of people in there at the same time.
I don't think we've ever talked about the store on the podcast. Like, I don't think we've ever talked about the fact that we have a store.
Yeah, we do. All. We do have a store.
Oh, actually, we did when we did all our numbers. But I guess this would be a good time to, you know, we didn't use those pictures Ebony took today for anything, so we could show our new store layout with because it's changed around at least like 10 times.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the store back to the shape it was in when we first opened the store. It was in real good shape. It stayed clean. We had a lot of traffic. I mean, department store was open, so we would stay open all day, every day, because the department store always has some stuff going on down the street. And those was the good old days. But now I'm just trying to figure out, and this is another thing that I'm gonna keep y'all in tune with. I'm just trying to figure out how we can get the store back popping. So I want to show the last 2 months numbers Just the store alone. Then I want to, start working on these numbers. I mean, I'm pretty sure just because it's November, with Black Friday, we're going to kill. But I'm interested to see if we can, like, in the first 2 weeks before Black Friday, maybe match what we did.
I mean, being open those extra 5 or 4 days a week, plus talking about the store, should be a healthy start for that. Yeah. And then once people get used to it,
I think I told Erica, not Erica, but Ebony, that if we can't do it, if I don't feel like it's working by the new year, then we just gonna cut it.
No, yeah, I agree with that, because
if we just can't figure it out for the daytime, I'm just gonna cut it. We're gonna pipe up on the venue, and then we're gonna have to find a store in the mall.
And just that'll be the Goddess of venue, and we'll do the mall.
Yeah,
I can see that working well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a no, like, really, like, Goddess Dope being in any mall is a no, like.
Yeah.
What
mall would you want to be in?
Either Perimeter or Cumberland.
What's the closest to us? Well, yeah, I don't want to be in the West End.
Nah, I love the West End.
I don't think that would.
I go get all my cologne from West End. I get my jewelry from West End, obviously. I get, like, my shoes from West End. Yeah, it's just a good hood mall.
They got good shoe stores.
Yeah, they get the same shoes as any other store.
Yeah, I just think I'd want to be in Lenox. I think Goddess Dope would look
Lenox,
nice in
like
Lenox.
the first mall. I reached out to Lenox, and Lenox was like, "Oh, we'll come to you when we see you making noise." And I'm like, "Dang."
Oh, is that how that works?
That's how they tried me. Like, we'll come to you when you start making some noise. Like, you can't come to, yeah. Let me in.
What?
Mall of Georgia.
He said Mall of Georgia. That's our home mall. That would be really annoying to. That's if anyone doesn't know, me, Jared, Matt, who else is? Yeah, I think that's it. Or from Gwinnett. So the Mall of Georgia is where we basically lived, probably from 8th grade to like 11th
Mall
grade.
Of Georgia. You know how irritating it would be if
everyone hung out at the mall.
You know how irritating it would be if we took something to Mall of Georgia as far as inventory, and then we forgot one thing.
Yeah, no, that's a drive. Today it took me about an hour to get up there, and then almost 2 hours to get back with traffic.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
There was a lot of traffic today.
Yeah, I wouldn't do Mall of Georgia. I would do.
Nah, but that would be kind of cool. I would like that. I'd be like, dang, Jay really did something.
Oh, you like the hometown hero, bringing it back to the city?
We would look pretty cool, right? I'd be like, whoa, those guys went to the city and came back.
That's cool.
But yeah. Well, yeah, I think we'll set our store goals, and the holiday season will.
I want to encourage people to comment too, because a lot of people send me messages, like text messages, talking about the podcast. But just leave it in the comments.
Well, yeah, that helps us, because this YouTube thing works just the same as any Instagram or Facebook. The more you guys comment and like, what kind of pizza is that?
Jerk chip.
Oh, okay, I might have to talk to that pizza in a second. The more you guys comment and like, the more this video gets recommended and it shows up on the searches.
Yeah. And oh yeah, do you like the edits that we had in the video? I seen one comment, somebody was just like, the edits are whack. And then I seen another comment where it's like,
they saw the progression of it.
Yeah, they like the edits. But so I don't know, we like 50 and 50-50. So if you like the edits,
I like them.
Let me know if you don't like the edits, because and Tell said he's going, because I kind of edited the last one myself, just from my history of questions, and I know how to do it. So we'll have to tell Sid.
Comment anything. We don't have a hot take this one. I just want people to comment anything.
Yeah.
Pertaining to God is Dope, to Sherrod, to Jay, to the factory, to the store, to their own business question, to a personal question, to just a random opinion.
I talked to Eric too.
Oh yeah, how did that go? Are we gonna have him on the podcast?
I don't know. He said he would pull up one day this week. So
clock's ticking.
I'll try to get him on the podcast. See what happens.
Cool.
So we out?
Yep.
I think Sid ready to go.
All right.
All right, peace.